What is going on, everybody? We're here, we're live, and we're still monetized over here at Geeks and Gamers. Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Daily. And you know, we weren't going to let him on the show. We said, I think we're going to start changing the show. No more Beardo, no more Mike, no more. Hey, we're going to limit it to people that have 100,000 subscribers. That's the threshold. But luckily, thanks to some deranged Disney Star Wars fan, Jay got there. Congratulations, Drunk.
Thank you.
100,000 subscribers. So you're able to be here today.
Well, here's the weird thing. So I applied. I got the little notification thing. I applied for the little check mark, and Team YouTube says, "Hey, thanks for your patience. We found the YouTube channel Drunk 3PO, and it has fewer than 100,000 subscribers, so it's not eligible for verification yet."
Do it.
I was like, "What?
Do it again tomorrow." Yeah, do it again tomorrow. A lot of their stuff takes like overnight to update. So yeah,
I was like, "What the freak already?"
And it
How
also
many y'all subscribed already?
And you also got to remember they go off Pacific time. So if you sent it like at 1 a.m. thinking you were, hey, I waited till tomorrow, wait again.
I gotcha. So, man, I was like, but their response was quick.
Hey, they got it. Well, it was easy for them. Nope, 999,000. Go fuck yourself. Or sorry, 99.9 thousand. Go fuck yourself.
I was like, I woke up and I was like, I saw that email. I was like, what the freak? And then I had to go check and be like, did all those people really unsub like they said they would? Like, I was like, oh my!
It would have been a great troll.
It would have been something.
Remember, we used to have a lot of like big YouTube purges. You know, where like every like month or so, there'd be a purge and be like, oh, fucking, you can go down a couple hundred maybe. You know, but I don't feel like I noticed that anymore. But I don't pay as close attention. I will say this. There's one thing we got to be very thankful to the Disney Star Wars fans for. You know, they have failed at a lot of things in life. Their gender, for one, their sexuality, but also trying to get the Acolyte renewed. Completely failed with that. Making the Acolyte a success, completely failed with that. Trying to get us demonetized. They've been trying for 4 years plus. They failed at that. But they have been successful in a couple things. One, getting you to 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And two, allowing us to talk about the biggest Disney Star Wars failure, the Acolyte, for another week. We have another week worth of content from the Acolyte because of these freaks, because they tried and failed in their cancel culture attack. And they are not done, right?
No.
These people do not understand failure. They think that everybody just has a misunderstanding. YouTube, you've said you reviewed all these things, but clearly you're missing something. We're telling you this is against your terms of service, despite how many times we've reported them over the years, despite all of these weirdos out there. Most of them, you know, probably have a lot of time on their hands. They don't have much going on in their life. And, you know, okay, I get it. But these are the same people that have been reporting our stuff, that have been trying to lead these campaigns against us for years and years and years to no avail. But you did succeed in a handful of things. So take solace in that. You gave us more content. I think I gained 2,500 subscribers on my YouTube channel in the past 2 days because of you freaks. So
I think the Acolyte netted me 35,000 subs.
There you go.
Because I think when it started, I was like at 77 when the first Acolyte hit. And then, or maybe it was like 72 when the first episode aired. And it just, you know, because after the show was done, then you had to deal with a week worth of them going crazy online with some wild theories and just calling out people. I don't remember The Last Jedi being like this. I do remember people defending it, but I don't remember it being like this crazy. Like, well, those were some serious Star Wars wars online. A lot of YouTube channels were created because of The Last Jedi. So
that's because The Last Jedi was actually a divisive movie, right?
Yeah.
You had a lot of people that viscerally hated it, but you also had people that like actually really did like it. That is divisive, right? You've got half people pissed off, half the people really like it. The Acolyte was not that way. The Acolyte was very representative of what we saw with a lot of these review scores, despite all these people claiming it's just review bombing, review bombing. Well, we now know, based on the viewership, based on the reaction, the vast majority of people did not like what they saw with the Acolyte. They thought it was really bad. So that's why you're seeing so many people talk about how bad it is, because most people think it's bad. You don't have nearly as many people that are trying to make the same excuses they did for Last Jedi when it comes to the Acolyte. Because say what you will about Last Jedi, and I think there's a lot of things wrong with the movie. I think even structurally, there's a lot of things wrong with the movie. It is a much, if you just take it as a film itself, it is leaps and bounds more competent than what we witnessed with Leslie Headland's The Acolyte series. So,
I guess, like, I think you said it before, this was a series catering to weird shippers, pronoun people, just all the interesting people on the internet. And so they're always the ones that are usually pretty loud and on social media, like starting hashtags. They love getting together in groups, and like just thinking they're slaying dragons, man, like doing something positive for their fandom. Just like this. I wonder who wrote it. I want to know who wrote up the letter. That's what I want to know. The one that they keep sharing.
Oh, I can tell you, it's the same people, the rewriting Ripley people.
So they probably wrote that and said, "Here you go, guys. This is what we need to share. It's perfectly written."
It's so transparent because it's written from the perspective of people who think they're intelligent and are actually really fucking stupid. But also in that first paragraph, when they started talking about Milo Yiannopoulos and this playbook, I'm like, this feels exactly like this rewriting Ripley stuff.
Yeah,
so when I saw all of these people, this coordinated effort, this targeted effort, hey, we're going to launch at 10 a.m. And I saw it and I read through it. I'm like, this reads exactly like the rewriting Ripley stuff. You think they could have at least come up with some new content in some ways. So like the idea that the entire Geeks and Gamers section was just about the Rose Tico stuff was fucking wild to me.
Yeah, that's
it's like, what?
The Milo thing too. It's like when we talk about it, most people are like, who the freak is that?
Yeah.
Who the heck is Milo? And when did he start a hate tactic? That a playbook tactic that we all have tucked. Well, I don't. I'm not.
You can't read
enough to be mentioned. I was mentioned in the first.
Books.
I was mentioned in the first video for like I think it was 12 seconds.
James Gunn has been fired.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Bro, these people really have it out for me. I was the star of that first video.
Yeah.
And I'm basically the focus of the second video they put out as well. But when I saw, to get back to the story, I guess, when I saw those posts and the wording that it was using, I immediately looked up the Rewrite and Ripley people and I was like, oh, look, they have an edited video that they've put together 1 minute before everyone else started tweeting about this. Okay, they are behind it, clearly. And these are the same people who 3.5 years ago got blown out of the fucking water. They had this if you read the entire article, right, sometimes on those different websites, it'll tell you, hey, how long would it take to read this? I think it was like a 70-minute read for that article that they put together, which basically equated to, a lot of people tweet that they don't like The Last Jedi. That's because of these YouTubers. It's like, this is your big gotcha. So it was coming from that same type of pseudo-intellectual background that I felt like they had to have something to do with it, and clearly they did. I'm just speculating, but it's pretty transparent to me that many of the Disney Star Wars YouTubers, that's what I'll call them, the ones that do get access, the ones that get invited out to Lucasfilm and all of these things, clearly they were involved with knowing this is going to happen and amplifying this and thinking that they could get something going. And when it comes to Lucasfilm themselves, I don't know. I don't know about if there is any official Lucasfilm involvement. Now, when I say things like that, there's a lot of people with insane conspiracy theories who think that KK is behind this or Dave Filoni. No, I'm talking about lower level random people that work at Lucasfilm who are buddies with these people, who DM with these people, that kind of stuff. But regardless, it is a coordinated attack campaign. And despite the celebration that we've done today, because all of their work, all the effort, all the energy they went into doing this, in 24 hours, they got blown the fuck out by YouTube, which is just hilarious. But just for the record, they're not going to stop. This isn't going to stop these people from continuing to try to put these massive campaigns out to get us deplatformed, to get us demonetized.
I do find it, I found it, actually, let me just say, I was surprised that Star Wars Explained would be involved in that. That's all I'm saying. They're very large. They do like throw shade and block people and stuff like that. But I don't think they've ever really, except one time they did a video where they came after Jeremy and a few others years ago, like
long ass time
like
ago.
2018, something like that, when Jeremy was just a small channel. But and then after that they never really did anything. Like I said, they would quietly, like, they would never name anybody. When they talked about Gina, they would like never name her, but everybody knew what they were talking about when they talked about like others.
That's kind of the way that a lot of Harry Potter channels that are like super woke and progressive, they'll never like say J.K. Rowling's name. They just say the author.
Right. And so knowing that YouTube is their livelihood and, you know, their online presence, to think that they would want to put their name in something that could backfire royally. And I mean, again, we've said this a million times. I don't want anything to happen to their channel, to them, or anything like that.
Me neither. I don't.
I could care less what content they make. I never watch it because
no one does. It might be why they're upset.
That's what normal people do. It's like if you have a channel that you're not interested in, or it's like it says the things like, you just don't watch. like it doesn't affect my day. You know, I'm gonna go do whatever I want to do that brings me joy. So I'm not gonna stand around fuming over someone that had a different take on a Star Wars show than I did. It's like, what the heck, man? Like, it ain't worth it. It's silly. But like it was just shocking to see that they actually would put their name with this and put themselves in that type of I don't know, man. Like they put themselves in a place where if the backlash was really bad, they could also potentially lose their channel, because it seems like they were, and that's the worst case scenario. But you know, like, there's lawyers out there that were saying, man, you guys got enough evidence here to sue. You guys have, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all that stuff out there. And it's kind of wild to me to think that they would want to put themselves in that. Either, and that's where the conspiracy theory comes, is, did Lucasfilm make a call? Did someone on the lower level, like, hey, man, we got to, like, they've wrecked our show. These guys wrecked our stuff. We got a movie coming out. We can't have them talking about the Mando Grogu movie. We got that. That's got to be a success, man. Or we're going to lose everything. We're down to our last straw. Every Disney Plus series, the ratings are going down. We lost our hotel. No one's buying our toys. We're putting out comic books that are hitting barely 50 on the comic book chart. No one cares about the High Republic. It's their fault. We got to take them down. Do something. If not, you're not going to have a channel anymore. You'll have no Star Wars to talk about. You're not going to make any money. You'll never be invited to, you know, it just, that's the conspiracy. I have no fact on that whatsoever, but
so,
you know,
what I think is a little more likely is that if there are people from Lucasfilm or whatever that knew that this was happening, that knew about this, I think it's much more likely that instead of it being some like, hey, you guys have to do something or Star Wars is in trouble, I think it's more likely that all these people just think the same way and are really, they really just despise us. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense.
Rather than some big, we got orders down from the top, Disney Star Wars in such bad shape that you guys aren't going to have content to talk about anymore if you don't do something about those people. You know what I mean?
That's how they think, though. Yeah. Like, in a bizarre way. Some of these activist weirdos think that way. You know, they believe that it's our fault that they're not getting a season 2.
Oh, dude, this is what I'm talking about. These are the same people that have tweeted relentlessly for all 7 weeks, I guess, 2-episode premiere that the Acolyte was going on. Tweeted relentlessly about it, desperately tried to get attention. After it was canceled, tweeted relentlessly. This is not going to stop. For them, this is like a Star Wars jihad, right? This is a woke jihad. It is a holy war. They truly feel that what we're doing is evil and terrible and awful, despite the fact that it's been verified time after time. Every time these people have sat there and reported my video or a live stream or whatever, it's been, hey, no, there's nothing wrong with this. Sorry. Despite Team YouTube themselves blowing them out. I don't know if I've ever seen, I'm just going to be honest here. Almost every time, and you went through this recently, Jay, almost every time that we see Team YouTube replying to people, it's because something's wrong and because people are upset because their channel got deleted or there's a problem or whatever. They're probably not used to getting a lot of great feedback. I don't know if I've ever seen this in my life from Team YouTube.
Yeah, where they're just like, hey, just shut up.
Well, this is, again, rewriting Ripley. Some of the people that were behind the attack 3.5 years ago, the ones that are behind the attack now, some of the people involved, right? A handful of YouTubers have jeopardized the safety of our community and the creatives we love for too long. The Star Wars fandom, you identify as the Star Wars fandom, yes, demands action at Team YouTube. Demonetize Nerdrotic, Ryan Kennel, RK Outpost, and Geeks and Gamers. Hate should not be a career path. Hello at Team YouTube. The Star Wars community would at the very least appreciate a formal response or update in regards to our well-documented and pressing concerns about YouTubers pushing prolonged harassment on your platform. YouTube responds. All lowercase, by the way. Thanks for reaching out. Just heard back and confirmed this content is not violative and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with the decision, but we reviewed the video very carefully against our policies. This is almost at 10,000 likes.
3
compared
million
to the original
views.
at just over 1,000. I don't know if I've ever seen that in my fucking life. A reply like that ratioing someone so hard from Team YouTube. Because obviously after that happened, it was a pretty big celebration that Team YouTube essentially told them to get fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck off. And obviously an ensuing meltdown occurred that 24 hours after these people worked so hard and thought that they were winning, they're like, look, they're scared. They know that their livelihoods are about to be gone. Just keep up the push. Or this tweet, hold on. This tweet might have been the funniest one, right? When everyone's celebrating the coordinated attack, the positive side of the Star Wars fandom, supporting and celebrating the coordinated attack to get us demonetized. It honestly feels like this scene is happening in real time, and I couldn't be happier for it. Well, just like the rise of Skywalker, this coordinated campaign fell flat on its face, was a complete and total disaster because 24 hours after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these tweets from these weirdos and freaks, they found out that they failed.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, like on your left. On your left.
Oh, God.
Is rewriting Ripley Poe? I got nothing. I don't know what to do.
Well, these people think they are the Avengers.
Listen, hold on. This out of all of this, you shared your favorite. That was excellent. This one is my personal favorite. This person was like, "This is an actual nerdrotic thumbnail, by the way," to Team YouTube. Right? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Have you seen what he said? Did you see what he said?
Who did?
All right, this guy. All right, watch this. He goes, "Here's another one." Right? This is the best. This is the best part. He goes, "Huh? I got a lot of Mexicans that are telling me they don't care and they find it funny. Interesting."
Oh, that's crazy, right? So wild. You know, it's like when there was a lot of debate over the Washington Redskins name and everything like that. And some Native American guy like made up a shirt
Said
that
Caucasians.
it says Caucasians. He's like, how would you feel if people were
And
selling
everyone's
this?
like, where do I buy that
every
shirt?
white person is like, that is fucking awesome, dude. Can you make me one? Like, are you selling those anywhere? Because those are badass. It's basically the same energy.
I just was, so I didn't get a chance to do the YouTube follow. I'll do that today video. But everybody already knows, but it's for whatever reason, just to have it on record. That's gonna be like the main I got a lot of Mexicans telling me they don't care. They find it funny, interesting.
There's Gary. Bro, that Blue Beetle thing was crazy. Of all the different
Let's
backlashes
taco about it
that I've experienced,
listen,
that was one of the more wild ones because I felt like it was so tame.
the crazy thing is, I've been to Mexico many times, and they have that shirt. Like when you go to the trinket shops, they have like that slogan everywhere. Like, let's taco about it. It's like everywhere. It's on like little buttons and everything. And so like that's why when that thumbnail went crazy, I'm sitting here like I couldn't find I was like dumbfounded as to what they were talking about. And then finally you read through and they're like, oh, he said let's taco about it. And you're like, wait, what? They sell that stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it was
outrage,
wild,
man.
Especially in a movie. If not very many people watched that movie, right? But for the people that did, they like leaned in. They were constantly making jokes about Mexican families and very stereotypical things and this and that. They leaned into it in the movie itself. And then while we were talking about that somehow was over the line somehow. I don't know. Also, a reminder once again, I like the Batman. I like Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie. That was another massive controversy.
Yeah.
But
shame on you.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. I just want to show just because I don't know, just for the record, it's like that slogan is everywhere. So it's on restaurants, things like that. Like it's everywhere. Anyway. That's why I was like, I don't get it.
When you're connecting it to something that failed, that means it's racism.
Oh, okay.
Jay. Haven't you learned anything from this campaign?
I learned it got me.
It does not matter if you call Mark Hamill dumb and retarded and say that Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is an awful, tragic character. They destroyed him, blah, blah, blah. That's not racism. If you say that about someone and they happen to be black, that is racism. This is what we've now learned from the coordinated cancel culture campaign against myself and Gary and Geeks and Gamers. So take that to heart, okay?
Okay. I mean,
when I make the same criticisms about the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Kenobi series, which was tragic and abysmal, by the way, that I made about Revo, only one of those things is racist.
Okay.
It's time to educate ourselves and learn.
Yeah, I'm on a different level on YouTube. I gotta get hip to the lingo here.
You are now.
It's a different world. That's all I'm saying.
You are now. Ellie Reen for $50. Congrats to Jay for reaching 100K, and congrats to G&G for the massive dub yesterday. Y'all are inspiring me to keep up the good fight and finish my comic that I started in high school. Hail the iDots in the chat and the 199. Well, thank you, Ellie Reen, for the big super chat.
Awesome.
And
thank you. Yeah, man. Like, be creative. The world needs it right now.
Yeah, I don't have a creative bone like that in my body in terms of like making up a story.
Yeah, but you're very smart though.
Well, yeah, but but that's just to me, for people that love it, that's awesome. And people that have that inspiration. I've never really had that.
Well,
not like an artistic person. I'm not a creative in that way, and that's fine. I don't try to be
to create a YouTube channel and be
successful.
Like that's pretty good. Most people can't say that.
What's that?
But you're able to create a YouTube channel and be successful. A lot of people can't say that.
I guess that's true, including a lot of the people that are trying to get us demonetized.
But that's the thing about being creative is these people that want it's weird. Not to go back to it, but it's just weird how the argument shifted in like 12 hours. It went from these channels need to be removed to we don't want them removed. We just want them demonetized and see if they still talk about Star Wars. You know, it's like it's crazy, like how I've seen it. The same people, when you cover this stuff, you get in the algorithm of these people, right, on like Twitter, and then it's like the same people that were like, these channels need to be removed, and it's like, well, we're really not saying remove them. It's okay that they say whatever they want. We just want to take away monetization and see if they still talk about Star Wars. It's and that's the thing, is if they can silence anyone that talks bad about a bad show, then that's all we will ever get is terrible, terrible escapism. And there will be no voices out there to say, did you guys really enjoy this? Because this sucks, you know? There'll be none of that anymore. So be creative, man. Create good stuff out there. They seem to hate it, by the way, I guess.
Yeah, very triggering. Godzilla's grease to provide Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was okay. Nothing special. There were things that could have been either expanded on or cut out. There was one thing I really wish they would have done a little more with. But like for some people, I feel like have a maybe haven't watched the original Beetlejuice in a long time. It's a fucking weird movie, by the way. It's a very like weird and chaotic and silly oftentimes movie. I didn't love Beetlejuice. I went and saw it last night. I didn't love it, but I had a good time. There was some stuff that I was like, that joke didn't really land. There was other stuff that I thought was really fucking funny. So, overall, I enjoyed myself. It's a weird, messy, chaotic like trip. Like that's what it is. That's always kind of how I felt the original one as well. I'm not like a massive fan of the original one, but I enjoy it.
Did you get the popcorn bucket?
No, I didn't get any popcorn buckets. None of them really like jumped out at me.
Not even the Batman one.
Well,
where do you get that Batman one? That one seems really awesome. It turns into white.
That one's at AMC.
Oh, okay.
I did pick up one of those the other day, but that was when I went to the free screening for Rings of Power. To watch those 2 episodes in theaters. That was. Yeah, like I saw some people be like, I can't believe they paid to go watch. No, they had free screenings of the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. You just had to register for it.
They've been doing that a lot. They actually did that for some Disney Plus Star Wars shows too. It's like you just have to register. You get like a free poster.
Remember Ahsoka?
They did it for Ahsoka. They did it for Andor. They did not do it for Acolyte, I don't think. I think they just flew out. They just flew out YouTubers or personality, or whatever you call them.
Well, they may have offered one and there wasn't enough people to fill a theater and they were like, oh, fuck, we probably shouldn't do this.
And now like some weird rumors out that Lucasfilm is cutting back to only 1 Disney Plus show a year.
Yes, actually. I recorded a video about it this morning and I'll release it after I make a thumbnail when we're done with the stream. But yeah, that is a report that just came out essentially that and when you look at what they have planned, it's tough to tell whether that's a report or just people looking at what they're doing, right? Skeleton Crew comes out in December. Andor's coming out sometime in 2025. That's the only thing that's coming out in 2025.
Well, because they got a movie.
Yeah, Mandalorian Grogu comes out in 2026. And the Ahsoka series goes into production sometime in 2025 for season 2, which means that'll probably release in 2026. So, you know, what else do they have?
By that time, is anyone... No one's going to really care.
I think that's a smart thing for them to do, is because when you look at these things, take the last several things that have come out. Acolyte, we've talked about that. Abysmal failure. But you know what the lowest watched or the least viewed Star Wars show was before the Acolyte? It
was Ahsoka, right?
It was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Right? Ahsoka took a nosedive and had a miserable finale because so many people tuned out. I thought Ahsoka was horrific. I think that if Ahsoka wasn't Dave Filoni's little fetish, he wouldn't have got a season 2. And if what they're doing in Ahsoka wasn't so tied into Mando and Grogu and Dave Filoni's movie, we wouldn't have got a season 2 because it was not good. It was awful. People tried to cope about it, but it was not a good series. The viewership was abysmal on it. And I think it probably wouldn't have got a second season if it wasn't Dave Filoni's pet project.
The whole thing is a mess because they're gonna have to tie in Thrawn somehow, and you would think that would be in the big, like they would try to make that a movie, but I guess because the ratings were so bad, and all the Mandalorian actors were at the last con in Toronto, that were in season 1 through 3, and they asked them all. They're like, congratulations on being in the film, and they're all like,
we haven't heard anything.
You know something that I know? Because I think they're doing something different. So basically, he's got the little baby, and he probably flies to a distant planet. It's just going to be a stretched out, like you remember how season 1 it was like, hey, we're on this planet, and I need to get a part, and they're like, well, the Jawas need you to do this. Okay, so we'll go do that, and now I did that. Now they give me the part. Then they go to the next planet. I need to get food for the baby. Well, I'll give you food, but can you go over here and take care of that? And so it's like, okay, like that was like the theme of every episode. He just had to do something to get a little something, and then so it feels like the movie's just going to be a stretched out. The only technical rumor that is, again, it's a rumor, is that Han Solo or Chewbacca is supposed to be in it and flying the Falcon to help save Mando and Baby Yoda. Like that's supposed to be the big thing, and they're doing that because they're also changing the ride at
Galaxy's Edge
land, too. So you're not piloting the Falcon to get coaxium. You're gonna pilot it to help Baby Yoda. So they're gonna try to tie it all in. And the only crazy thing that happened was before I remember reporting this. Before it came out, something leaked for Star Tours that showed the planet in what was the last movie? Dang, I even forgot. The Rise of Skywalker.
Exegol?
So yeah, that no, not Exegol. You remember where she had to pull out the dagger and like look at the broken Death Star that's in the water to get.
You're talking about the Endor system?
No. In the Rise of Skywalker, Rey had to find a dagger. Then she had to go. Yeah, she went to a planet where the freaking Death Star
on one of the moons of Endor.
Yeah. That's right. So apparently, because that's in part of Star Tours now, like they had old rides. So that video like leaked early. So then everybody saw like what that was and like the name. So then they tried to backtrack and say, no, we were just working on things. So that's how like this whole rumor about like Mando is going to team up with Han and Chewie and the Falcon to do something.
Yeah, it'd be great if I would love to see Han Solo, a de-aged CGI abomination of Han Solo, walk in there and be like, hey, you need a lift?
Yeah.
and Mando's like, thank you. I appreciate it. Looks like you're in a bad spot. You were.
I made the Kessel run in 12
and then be like, hey, is this your kid? I just left my little bastard because I'm a deadbeat dad and a terrible father. But hey, you do your own thing.
It's only 5 years after
I would love
the
to see that interaction. God.
It's only like 5 years after Return of the Jedi, right? Isn't that technically?
I don't know. I don't know when the Mando and Grogu movie is going to take place.
That's true.
Timeline wise, obviously, it's probably just going to be a year after all the stuff we've seen already.
Yeah. But. Oh, I'm all for it, man. I hope it's Chewie. I hope this is what I hope. I hope Chewbacca is captured and he gets a call to go rescue him. And then Chewbacca gets the Falcon and they just go ham on whatever pirate planet they're on. So Mando could be the hero that saves Chewbacca's life and is forever in his debt. I think that'll work out.
Yeah, maybe. But I guess getting back to the idea of them cutting back on they should be cutting back on these Disney Star Wars projects. Obi-Wan, complete and colossal failure, massive drop off in viewership. Mando season 3, colossal drop off in viewership and the reviews. Although I don't think the writing was that much different from what we saw in season 2 because it wasn't full, because the cameos were from Lizzo and Jack Black instead of characters that people cared about. People didn't get as obsessed with the shiny dangling objects. That's what I personally believe and said about Mando season 2 when it happened. So I'll maintain saying that about Mando season 2. But when you look at all those things, with the exception of Andor, which actually did have a pretty bad premiere and then grew and grew and grew and grew in viewership, like other than that, all these Disney Star Wars shows they're losing money for them. They just are. So you know what? If we're going to put out these projects, we're doing these 3 movies, whatever, you might as well just put this shit out in theaters. If you're going to spend $150, $180 million, might as well just put it out in theaters and you at least recoup some of that money back. Like, if they spend $180 million on the Mando and Grogu movie and they spent $180 million on Acolyte, I have no idea what Mando and Grogu is going to do. Could that be $1 billion movie? I guess maybe. Could it be an $800-700 million movie? Probably more likely. But what if it's a $450-500 million movie? You know what? That $400 million movie, even if it lost money for Disney, it would lose less money than the Acolyte lost for them. You know? So it makes sense to me for them to back off of doing so many Disney Star Wars shows, especially when virtually all of them are dog shit.
Lucasfilm making sense.
They tried. They failed. You know? Hey, the streaming thing didn't work out too well. Let's put movies back in theaters, boys.
I wonder if Kathleen Kennedy's still crying over the Acolyte script.
Maybe. All right. Anyway, we need to get through some of these super chats. Brock, member for 15 months. Remember to stay hydrated. Drink water. Thank you, Brock. It's the S tier team. Congrats, Jay. Jay, you've been bumped up.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Rocking Meta PC hat.
My dead stormtrooper is rocking.
There he is.
And Knockmamon reviews and rants for 2. Excuse me. Jay is 100K and gay. I had a hiccup right when I said that.
How dare you attack us?
Did you just use the word gay as an insult?
That's right. How dare you? YouTube, look at this account, please.
Do you have any idea the damage that does to people?
What's
up, Knockmamon?
Thank you.
We're celebrating that you're gay. My plan, if anything does come from these coordinated campaigns and attacks, me, Gary, and Jeremy, we're all gonna say that we're transitioning. We're all gonna put pronouns and trans flags in our bios, and we're gonna say, look at this coordinated hate campaign against trans creators.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that works out. Dom, our man Dom H with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Dom. The singing Tiggs for 2. Congrats, Jay. Not subbed. I wouldn't watch. Hail 199.
Thank you. I appreciate honesty. I appreciate it.
Our man Alex McCarthy with the hashtag RK3PL. What's up, Alex? Hope you're doing good, brother.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Keep fighting.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. My Hollywood Spies have confirmed Jay never reached 100,000 subs. They have also confirmed the Acolyte Season 2 has been renewed. Man, I remember when Acolyte Season 2 is just a sizzle reel and Kathleen Kennedy was going to get fired at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
Keenan Endenu for 16 months.
Keenan, what's up?
Have you seen the show Erie, Indiana?
I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
I don't think so. T-Dog for 5. What happened to Lauren Chen? If the DOJ is involved, I feel like they're trying to shut her up. They're trying Russiagate again. Yeah, the headlines that have been out there have been pretty wild and insane. And obviously, all the channels have immediately been removed based on allegations alone, an indictment that isn't even about her. I obviously know nothing about what's actually going on. I know Lauren, been on a couple of shows together. I've had dinner with her and her husband before and stuff like that. But I have no information about all the crazy stuff that's going out. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of people that definitely want to hop on the, hey, this corrupt Department of Justice that has been completely BTFO'd and on so many things. Well, this must be real.
Yeah.
So again,
yeah.
But I don't know anything about it. So it would, if those things are true, it would truly shock me. Like, I would be shocked if all of the stuff in those indictments and the allegations are true. All the other people involved don't fucking know, but in terms of, Lauren and her husband, I'd be shocked if that stuff was true. That's about all I have to say on the topic. George Ramirez for 5. Happy Friday, guys. Grats, Jay, on reaching 100K subs. Hope you guys sue the channel haters trying to demonetize G&G. By the way, Space Marine 2 is awesome. Hugs. I'm glad you're liking Space Marine 2. And yeah, I see there's a lot of people that are like, you should sue, you should sue, you should sue. If it ever actually comes to that, I'm going to feel like the most cringe person in the world for fucking suing people, to be honest with you. So that is, to me, it's like a last resort thing. But thank you for the advice. Aberjam for $1 on Rumble. Good job, Jay. You finally made it to 100K. Now go live in a van down by the river.
That's the plan. I'm looking at the Winnebago Pocket. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Winnebago Pocket.
No. Wesley for 5. The weirdos pulled a holdo maneuver, except they only blew themselves up. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Two's News for 10. Speaking of YouTube earlier, I checked this morning. All of Lauren's channel has been removed based on allegations or accusations. Yeah, just talked about that. But thank you, Two's News. I think that's ridiculous. Nader's Bricks for 2. Congrats, Jay. You IDOT. P.S. You're still gay.
Are you sure, man? Once you hit that number, I think the doesn't it wash away?
The gayness?
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Jeremy still get called gay on a daily basis.
Jeremy's never called gay. He's called Jeremy
a homosexual. Yeah. That's true.
I love that, man. I love that.
M. Simon.
Holy crap.
For 10,000. Is that yen? I'm not a Japanese person. Have a nice Friday, gents. Thank you, M. Simon. I don't know exactly how much money that is, or I think it's yen, but we appreciate the good wishes for our Friday. I'll be on Friday Night Tights today, so that's always a good day. What are you doing today, Jay?
I'm going to finish that follow-up video, and I'm going to catch up on some television. That's pretty much it. I had a busy day yesterday. I went almost 6 hours on that live stream. And the last hour, I was like, I'm not shutting off. I'm going to finish reading all these things. And I was just spiraling into madness. So,
it was really rough reading all the super chats.
It is the worst job. I think I just need to go back to roofing in the summer here in Florida.
Yeah, it sounds easier.
It's a lot easier than reading,
Less mentally taxing. Jonathan Staten for 5. You know what they say? You always remember where you were when the first one hit. Grandmaster Chris for 5. I thought failure was the greatest teacher. I guess the Acolyte and the Chills didn't get the memo. Congrats to Jay on 100K.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Dalish Halfling for 5. Didn't say anything, but thank you. Tobias, the Wokalite fans are insane dreamland freaks, but I'm a degenerate furry, but I try to adhere to reality. Ryan, which of us is worse to you?
He has to think about it. I think anything associated, I'm going to just go out here on a limb. Anything associated with Filoni is probably worse.
Listen, man.
Oh my God, Dan.
Furries. As long as you stay away from your degenerate tendencies. All right, fight it. Fight the urge, Tobias.
So Jeremy wants to raise enough money to put me and Ryan on a road trip to a furry convention and get press passes and do interviews for. He thinks that's going to be the next big video hit.
Yeah. That'll go just as well as that Fortnite video. Dan Vask for $50 which is how much is that?
It's $6.
I think it's $10. Hi Jay, Ryan. Oh, hi Jay. Ryan, how are you? Just checking up on you. Is everything okay with your country? Hope all is well with you, your family, your work, your sex life. And I hope all your dreams come true.
There's some context to this super chat.
There is some context to this because I made a very brief appearance on Jay's 100K celebration because I just got back from Beetlejuice. I had to watch the game. I had dinner, all this stuff. But I wanted to pop in, you know, for a little bit. Dan also popped in, and Dan's going through a lot. He's got a civil war in his country, or he's getting, I don't know. I don't care. But Dan is like, I just want to say thank you to Jay and to Krista for checking in on me. Things are crazy down here. Craig and Ryan, I never hear anything from you guys. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want? What are you talking about? Like, what do you expect me? Hey, Dan, just checking up on you. You doing okay, buddy? Am I a fucking woman? Like, what are we talking about here? And I don't know. Maybe Dan didn't like that. And then I did reiterate after he left, bro, I'm not checking in on another dude. All right. The people that I check in on, hey, just want to see how you're doing. Are you okay? It's women I want to have sex with. Okay. That's who I'm checking in on. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Dan.
Are you like, hey, you got a fun itch? Just making sure.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Hey, hi, T brothers, check in on each other, right? Maybe I'm not getting it.
Oh,
so who knows?
God.
Anyway, thank you for the super chat, Dan. I hope you survive whatever's going on in Brazil right now, and that you can tweet again with freedom. Okay.
Whew.
Somebody said Ryan is just men's inner thoughts said outward. That's like my existence. Thank you.
Pretty much. He's a lot of inner thoughts said outward.
Inner thoughts. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 5 smash. JT just did a video on Dustborn CEO freaking out over people's quote offensive observations of the race of good/bad guys in his game. Awesome. Steve Fitch for 5. Watched a video yesterday, the quartering discussed, that had some evidence with receipts of maybe Lucasfilm employees involved with these people. So a lot of people that are watching probably do not know what this rewriting Ripley thing is. 3.5 years ago, in March of 2021, this massive, campaign came out from a group called Rewriting Ripley. It was just like a podcast and a website. And they launched this video. It was like a 2-minute video, essentially trying to say that myself, Jeremy, Nerdrotic, other YouTubers who talked about Star Wars, the quartering, that we were all part of this massive conspiracy led by like Steve Bannon, the alt-right or something.
Yeah.
And that we're radicalizing people for politics by talking about Star Wars. It was an insane, weird fucking thing. And they were like in this highly researched document. And it's just 70 minutes of a 70-minute read of them being like, when you look at Twitter, you can see that a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi. This is a direct result of the radicalization by these YouTubers and the fact that they're allowed to exist on these platforms. It was insane stuff. Those are the same people who I feel played a part in what we're seeing going on. They made another video. And in this video, I will grant them this. Maybe like they should be hired at Lucasfilm, because the level of storytelling in that original video showing me like a baby-faced YouTuber who was kind of soft-spoken because I literally had never made a video before in my life. And they told this story basically of me being radicalized through YouTube. That was better storytelling than anything Disney's done in the last couple of years. All right. That was more believable. But like, those are the people that are still doing this today. So we're not just talking about a handful of people that don't like our channels. This has gone on for years. Coordinated harassment, targeted campaigns to try to deplatform us. Hasn't worked, but it doesn't stop these people from trying, and they will not stop trying. Which is why, and Jeremy's been talking about this a lot as well. We have revamped the website and everything like that. Obviously, these people are losers and they failed. Who knows when the day might happen where they get the right person at YouTube to look at something, whatever. If you want to support us, you can always do it on YouTube. We appreciate it on YouTube. If you also want to support us, you can go over to geeksgamers.com. You can click the Join the 199 button, and we've got memberships and stuff like that that are kind of powered through locals. So any support, we appreciate it. These people are not going to stop coming after us, bottom line. Anyway. But sorry, I didn't talk about this though. I didn't actually address the super chat. That original hit piece that came out from them, it was amplified by people who were employees at Lucasfilm.
Yes.
The person behind it, like left their names on the article, so people were able to find out who that person was, found out that they may have been friends with some people at Lucasfilm, potentially even maybe briefly did some kind of independent gig for maybe a website or something. We're not talking about big time Lucasfilm employees or anything like that, but I know Pablo Hidalgo followed that Rewriting Ripley account after it happened. Multiple other people, especially maybe some people employed by the High Republic at the time, like the people that were working on that may have hyped that and endorsed that and continued to push that hit piece against us. So yeah, these people are friendly. We'll put it that way. These people are friendly. People call you guys grifters and that you don't care or counter, and you don't care or counter them. People call them shills and it becomes some crusade to eliminate that. If they were confident in their position, they'd use their words. Predinsky for Canadian 699. Happy Friday, guys. Congrats, 100K J. Wondering, bro, this is a rough one to read. Saw Gaga's comments on filming Joker 2, not looking good and might be a flop. You'd have to be a little more specific on Lady Gaga's comments about filming Joker 2. I've seen her say a couple things about it. I've seen them say that we wouldn't really consider it a musical, like per se or anything like that, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I have heard people say it's not Harley Quinn as you're used to seeing her, and people are like freaking out about that. I would also say that Joker isn't Joker as you're used to seeing him in the first movie either. My biggest problem is that I thought the first one was amazing and didn't need a sequel. I don't think it needs a sequel at all. I think the first one is better left without a sequel, but also they spent way too much money on this one. The first one's like a $50 million budget. This one, like $200 million or something. Phoenix for 5. Hail my 199, my fellow iDots. And Knockmamon reviews and rants for 10. I unsub from Jay's channel, seeing if I bring it down to 100 or down the 100K. The plan would then be to bring it up and down every few days to mess with Jay. Unfortunately, I don't have that power. I resubbed. There you go, Jay.
Thank you.
Julius Caesar for 5. Woof woof. Hail the 199. Congrats, Jay, on 100K.
Thank you.
Fuck Mike, you piece of shit.
You know the Mike stuff, right?
I don't really know, but my guess is that he's black and dogs don't like him.
Well, no, he
like
ate a dog in a video game, and now they're calling him
the
the Michael Vick of like video games.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Listen, dude. Dogs are dogs. Dogs love me. People hate me. Dogs hate mailmen for some reason, but I don't know. I think dogs like Mike. Where am I? B Chain. I lost my spot. Here we go. Tickle Stick for 199. I agree with 100K J.
Thank you. Got a nice ring to it.
Lou Hits for 5. Jay, I was waiting to be your 100,000th, but you didn't give a countdown.
I don't know how to do that.
Pokey for 10. It's my birthday today, so I took a day off to watch you guys, and later on, I'm going to eat a large steak for dinner.
Yeah, it sounds
Happy birthday, Pokey.
Sounds like a perfect day.
Jonathan, Jay, will you be with Gina in GalaxyCon Columbus?
Yes, that's in December. That's the last con of the year that we'll be doing. And then we have nothing scheduled for 2025. So this could be your last chance to see her. I know she has some projects coming up that she's just going to be working on that. So I don't know if she's doing any cons next year.
Sexy Centurion for 5. Hi, Ryan. I find people today are more interested in getting the popcorn bucket of a movie rather than seeing the movie itself. It has become a big business. It really has, these popcorn bucket things. Like,
man, that Batman, I'm not much of a Batman, like a super fan, but that one is amazing.
It's dope. Yeah.
So
I got my
why hasn't someone just sold like a little mini version for like a desktop that like has a light that they could shine up on there?
I don't know. I got my Dune bucket right over here. Break glass in case of emergency. Mad Max. Mando calls Han for help, but Han says, I don't care. Maybe. Sparian with a super sticker. Thank you, Sparian. We Too Dumb for 199. Jay, do you know who's that guy? Do you know that guy?
I don't know him.
Jack him off?
Tried to get me last night.
John Papa Sergio, I've been watching Mauler play Outlaws, and 100% follows the same formulaic video game setup they used for the Mandalorian show.
Sounds about right.
John Getz, happy Astrobot Day. Everyone shows Sony this is what we want, not Concord. Support the fun little robot with the 94 Metacritic. You've been very excited for the Astrobot thing. That doesn't look like a game that I'll play, but a lot of people are very excited for it. We Too Dumb for 199. Ryan, you're not a Russian asset? Bro, I wish I was getting some of the fucking money.
Yeah, send me $10 million. I'd be happy to change my tune about Star Wars.
And then you're like, oh shit, it's a 10,000 rubles or whatever the fuck Russian currency is. I don't know. Whoa, I don't know. Demogenai for 5. Great to see the canceling of your attempted cancellation. Huge W all around, from Concord to the Acolyte, and now this.
Demogenai's been a G&G supporter from like day one.
Yeah,
so you got to get out to one of the meetups, man. You got to get out to one of the meetups, brother.
Demogenai, go check out his channel, dude. Dude does good work. So shout out to Demogenai. I agree with Jeremy, a homosexual. Lord Botham for 5. When asked about the status of Marvel's The Armor Wars, Don Cheadle responded, "What's Armor Wars?" Well, maybe that's
not surprising.
Maybe he actually doesn't know. Maybe he's playing coy, but probably he doesn't know what the fuck it is. Chewbaccaneer for 20. Chewbacca as a pirate. What an interesting idea.
I love that avatar.
Gabriel Knight for $50. The left has declared war on free speech, politically and culturally. If these boycotters and Kamala have their way, the First Amendment will be shredded. Kamala's on record saying she wants to sick the DOJ on social media platforms for their content. Yeah, and that is why I'm a little surprised by so much of the rampant people that are on the right. Maybe it's because they just think it's a scandal and want to distance themselves from it or whatever, but like a DOJ fucking indictment from like a very corrupt Department of Justice, as we've seen over the past couple of years. I don't know. I ain't going to take any of that as, I'm not going to take any of it just at face value, you know? Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. Can Jay get Mike Zero on FNT? He's the greatest investigative reporter of our time.
I've been trying. I tried for 1 year and I got no response.
Dieter von Klausenberg for 10. About the fat Jedi from the Acolyte, aka Blubber Fett. If your body is wider than the lightsaber, you get blasted no matter how good your reflexes are. Fat Jedi make no sense for that reason.
It's higher midichloridian count.
What'd you say?
Higher midichloridian count.
Say it again.
Midichlorian count, sorry.
There you go. The Singing Tigs for 2. Ryan, stop saying you're not creative. You're a comedian.
That is true.
You know, I will say that.
Funny.
Yeah, then I'll accept that.
He's freaking funny. I was on a road trip with him. I laughed for hours. Maybe he wasn't making a joke. Maybe he was just being normal, but it was still freaking funny.
Thank you, Jay. Ghetto Suguru for 5. YouTube slapped down the children of woke. Mad Max for 5. Congrats, Jay and Ryan. Thank you. Ryan, thank you for your service. Hey, they did pay me, so my pleasure.
Nice avatar.
David Knight for 5. The power of 1, the power of 2, the power of many Rees after they failed to cancel. You guys keep up the good work, and Rings of Power sucks.
Can I just Nerdrotic agrees with me. I might need to clip this out and make a video. Thank you.
Nah, Gary's just an old boomer who doesn't understand the prequels. All right, he's stuck in his ways. He's one of those toxic prequel haters out there.
He doesn't like the prequels for real.
You really don't pay attention very much, do you?
No,
he does not. Robbie Peppers for 199. New Linkin Park sounds so bad. They got a woman, right?
I don't know. What is has Gary watched Doctor Who? Maybe he'd like that show.
I don't think he really likes nerdy shit like that, so probably not. Gatekeeper for 20. Congrats on 100K, Jay. Hey, Ryan, just popped in to show a little love. Wish you guys continued success and good health. Hail chat. Shout out Gary, Epic Mike, Jeremy, Disbrew, Odin, Badger, Gooch, and blessings to the Epic Angel.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Nandio. Congrats, Jay Bear. Yes, I know that sounds gay. It does.
Thank you.
Dave Filoni's dog. Mike's like Michael Vick. Can't wait to meet him. Listen, Dave Filoni's dog has been praying for sweet release for a long time now. Taker for 5. We are the Dustborn. Is that a Bible reference? From dust we came, to dust we shall return. It fits as most physical copies end up in a landfill. Maybe. Unknown for 5. Shit Clown Wars. Look at that. Bro, the fact that these guys, the Rewriting Ripley people, in their 1-minute edited video about how disgusting and racist we are, they included Perry Chan's edit of me as Amanda Stenberg in her diss track.
That's wild. That video was wild.
Gabriel Knight, if you think what I said earlier is hyperbole or naive, all it would take is 2 vacancies on Supreme Court replaced by Harris's replacements, declaring Constitution no longer covers offensive speech. Yeah, we're living in a frightening time right now. And throughout the rest of the year is going to determine a lot of what happens in the world moving forward. Only poor Russian oligarchs watch G&G and can only afford to spread propaganda $5 at a time. That's right, Jason Yankovic. Name is the ReTuber for 5. In woke of the reused content purged by YouTube, I suddenly found my VTuber clip channel monetized yesterday, so spreading the love. Congrats, Namens. Hail the 199 IDOT. Thank you. Horny Owl for 5. Hail Figs. Jay was the first channel I found in this corner of the internet, so did Jay radicalize me?
I mean, your name is Horny Alf.
Was that always his name?
I think so.
Let's see. I said that one. Pat with a lot of A's for 2. Now that it's football season, I can't wait when Alabama loses and Jeremy yells, "My Dixie wrecked." Thank you. I just read the super chats, folks. All right, Jay. We're all caught up.
Have a great Friday, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Also, I think we're back up on Spotify and Apple. I forgot to make that announcement before. So if you missed this, but you have those apps downloaded, you want to listen to this on your favorite podcast, you can check them out over there.
If you want to listen and not see our faces, which I understand, there's a lot of benefits to that. Yeah, you can go over there. Wherever podcasts are found. That's right. The Wolf from Heart for 199. Hashtag rescue Dave Filoni's dog. I say just put him out of his misery.
I'm kind of busy today. Maybe over the weekend.
That is weird. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And I will say this. Thank you to all the people that have supported us over the last couple of days with this insane stuff. People making videos, people tweeting. Like, it's all noticed and it's all appreciated. I will once again reiterate. I don't condone or like encourage anyone to go out there and try to get other people's channels reported or taken down or demonetized or any shit like that. I want them to continue to have the platform they have so we can continue looking at some of the retarded things that they say, right? I'm a full advocate of them continuing to be able to speak their minds, even if I think they're dumb. But we appreciate all the support from you guys out there. One more super chat from MJ UK. Who's drunk 3PO?
I don't know.
All right.
Wait, yeah, I think you missed Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Ryan, your Harrison Ford impression unironically sounded like Beetlejuice. It does a little bit, the low gravelly Harrison Ford. Yeah, I guess it does kind of sound a little like Beetlejuice, doesn't it? And John Q. Ghost becomes a monthly supporter over on Rumble. Thank you very much, John Q. Ghost. All right, we're out of here, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you on FNT. Peace.